What is good, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another review. This is not your average sneakerhead, Tony Ramsey, and today we are taking a look at the Air Jordan 1 tie-dye. Before we jump into the review, if this is your first time here, or if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing by clicking the link down below. Trying to grow the channel to about 500 subscribers, and once we hit that mark, we'll go ahead and have another giveaway. And if you are already subscribed and already part of the Not Your Average Sneakerhead family, I do appreciate you guys. Now, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the review. Now, the Air Jordan 1 tie-dye released towards the end of June. I was able to pick these up off the Nike Sneakers app, and this was another weird release. We've had a number of weird releases so far this year, especially with COVID and what's going on there. Not surprising that releases have been kind of sporadic. This one was another sneaker that was pushed back. They were set to release on a Friday, and they did release on a Friday on the foot sites, but the sneakers release actually got pushed back until the following Monday, which is why I was able to get my pair. And this is also a women's shoe. They did not have extended sizing for men's. I was able to grab these in a women's 8.5, which is a men's 7. And if you guys are not familiar with my channel, I actually wear a men's size 8.5, and that's more of an error on my part. I forgot to change the sizing before I put in to try to grab these off the app, and ended up with a women's size 8.5. No big deal, because honestly, I'm not a big fan of these sneakers, and we'll go ahead and jump into some of the details why here in a second. First things first, let's take a look at the box. So these come in the red and black Fearless box, and if you guys are not familiar, Nike have been using these boxes for the Fearless releases that dropped towards the end of 2019. Also a couple releases from 2020 as well. So it just is an inverse of your normal Jordan 1 box. Instead of where it's black on here, typically that's red on the Jordan 1 box, and where it's red, it's usually black on the Jordan 1 box. So basic Jordan box here, just a different color blocking. And the size tag reads Women's Air Jordan 1 High OG, and its official colorway is white, black, and aura green. And as I mentioned, I got these in an 8.5 in women's, and they had a retail price of $170. And there is the tag if you need to do that, if you need that information for any legit checking purposes. And once you get inside the box, you just have standard white Jordan 1 paper, nothing out the ordinary there. And of course the shoes. There is a one of the green stamps inside the box as well, because these do have some different materials, and let's go ahead and look at those materials here in a second. Now, the Air Jordan 1 tie-dye, as I mentioned, it is a women's exclusive shoe, and that's pretty evident by the color scheme and the color blocking of the sneaker. Color blocking the sneaker actually isn't bad. I'm just not the biggest fan of the tie-dye, but let's start here at the toe box. So first, you have a black toe there that is in leather. The leather quality on this isn't bad. It's not the best leather quality of Jordan 1s, of course. And then you have the toe cap is wrapped in that tie-dye material. I believe that's a leather cut as well. As you can see right there in the grains, it looks like it's a pretty good quality leather, but it has been roughed up, so it does have a very coarse feel to it. And under that, you have that tie-dye color. Now that looks like the leather has been dyed, and certain parts of this leather actually are softer than others. So once you get from the toe box, you do have a black nylon tongue, and Jordan Brand went back to the actual nylon tongue tag with Nike Air on these. They have had some leather tongue tags on other Jordan 1s this year, but this one does have that classic nylon tongue there in black. It's in white with a black Nike Air writing on it. From there, looking at the lateral side, you do have a white leather side panel there with a black leather Nike swoosh on it. Then going up towards the eyelets, that is done in that same rough tie-dye type of material and color. Then going up to the ankle collar, you do have a black part right here where the ankle wraps around. Then the wings part right here, that is done in that same tie-dye material. I don't know if it's suede, if they mean to beat it up that way to make it look more like suede, but it does have some coarseness, and as I mentioned, it's pretty rough on where the wing logo are. And for the wings logo of this one, you can see right there, it is in black. Same details on the medial side of the shoe, white side panel, black Nike swoosh, tie-dye pattern around the back of the shoe and along the wings up here. Also does have a white midsole, so there is no sail on this sneaker. It's all white and this tie-dye color with some black, and the outsole is done in black as well. They also do come with the standard cardboard shoe tree. And for the laces, these aren't your typical rope laces. They are a little bit more flat than usual. Nothing that I don't like there. That actually kind of go pretty well with the shoe. They did not come with any extra laces. I'll check the other shoe just to double check that to make sure, but I don't believe they came with any extra laces. And then for the insole there, it is just black with a white Nike Air. I'm not sure if you guys can see that in the camera, but that's what it is there, black with a white Nike Air inside. Okay, now taking a look at the left shoe. Yeah, these did not come with any extra laces, so don't expect that with the shoes, just the standard black ones. Honestly, I can see you wearing these with either some blue laces or the black ones that are in here, or some white laces would probably look good as well. Maybe even some teal laces to bring out some of that teal color pattern in the tie-dye. Now let's go ahead and talk about that tie-dye since we're looking at that right now. Now, the tie-dye pattern on the shoes, it's not going to be the same from shoe to shoe, because as tie-dye goes, it does vary depending on how the paint hit each one, and you can see on the back of these that it is different for both shoes. So here on the right shoe, it has a lot of color splashing right there towards the back, whereas on the left shoe here you have a lot more vibrant colors on the back of the shoe, and also on the front of the shoe and on the lateral side of that one. Whereas this one, not quite as much of that teal pattern coming through, a lot more navy blues coming through on the right shoe. Now talking about sizing for these, as these were in a woman's size 8.5 and a men's size 7, and I wear a men's 8.5, I couldn't give you guys any details about sizings for this pair. But typically in Jordan 1s, I go true to size. I can go either a half size down or a half size up and be okay either way. If I go a half size down in Jordan 1s, I just have to wear some thinner socks. If I go a half size up, I just wear an extra insole. So you have a lot of variance between how you like to wear Jordan 1s. But if you do have a normal to a wide width foot, I will consider going true to size. But if you have very narrow foot, you can go half size down in Jordan 1s and be fine either way. Now lastly, let's discuss the resale for these sneakers. Now, as I mentioned, these were a women's release and they only went up to a men's size 10.5. So big foot people probably wouldn't be able to rock this sneaker. And honestly, I'm not sure if this is a sneaker that I would keep even if it was in my size. As I mentioned, I'm not the biggest fan of this colorway. I like the color blocking, but just the colorway in general is not one I think that I can pull off part of my daily outfits. I think the right person could probably pull these off, but resale right now it's right around the 250s, maybe to the 300s depending on the size. In my size, they go for right around like 240 to 250, and it's just not one that I think that I want to spend that money on to keep in the collection. As I mentioned, it's not a bad shoe for the right person, just not the right shoe for me. Typically, this is the part of the video where I'll give you guys an on-foot look at these shoes, but as I mentioned, these are not my size, so we'll be skipping the on-foot portion. But yeah, I mean, not a bad sneaker overall, just not one that I think I need in my 2020 pickups here. So these will be going on to a happier home to where they can go to someone that actually can rock these, because this is not something I will keep in my collection a long time. That's going to do it for my review of the Jordan 1 and the tie-dye colorway. Again, not a bad sneaker for the right person. Not for me, but if you like them, I love them. It would probably be a good idea to grab these now if you did really like these, because the prices on these will probably go up as Jordan 1s typically do. So if this is your cup of tea, go ahead and pick them up right now. If not, hey, this is another Jordan 1, and there'll be more coming down the line eventually, as you all know. That's going to do it for my review. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys on my next review. Peace.